Hello and welcome to UC Today. My name's David Dungay. Today we have a special session as part of our AI and Copilots Month. We're going to be talking about Agentic AI. I have with me Leo Boulton, Head of Product and Solutions and Industry Marketing at Zoom. Let me get that right. Welcome, Leo. How are you?
Hi, David. Excellent. Hello from sunny South Florida here in the US.
Fantastic. Well, I'm flying over that way soon. I'm looking forward to some sunshine. But let's not talk. We're not here to talk about sunshine. We're here to talk about Agentic AI. Leo, very quickly before we get into the conversation, can you give us maybe a very quick introduction? I'm sure there isn't many people that don't know who Zoom are, but maybe you could give us a quick intro to yourself and the business.
Absolutely, yes, sure. So, like you said, my name is Leo Boulton, and I lead what's known as the product solutions and industry marketing team here at Zoom. Basically, what that means is we're the marketing arm of the product and engineering machine here for Zoom, and we're responsible for things like market insights, research, product launches, enterprise connect, and large events, content, assets, and launching products. That's pretty much what we do.
Fantastic. Well, let's get into some questions then. Agentic AI, where are some of the biggest opportunities for AI, I guess, broadly speaking, for businesses today? Where are you seeing that success really happen?
Sure. Well, let's start with the opportunities. Of course, the biggest opportunities are really around offloading routine, complex tasks. That's one of the most obvious ones, which people talk about them as enhancing productivity. And also we believe in that it's leading to more personalized experiences. That's really the bottom of it. It's about achieving more things or doing the best work. That's the way I like to describe it, with the help of AI. Another way to describe it is horizontal scale. So we all want to do more and more work, right? Scale horizontally, and at the same time to level up the performance. So scale up vertically. In other words, I would love to clone myself, and I would love to every time that I do work, do my best work. That's effectively the two big opportunities that we see in AI in general, and agentic AI is definitely going in that direction. Very recently, we just announced that we're elevating what we call our Zoom AI Companion, which is our platform, from a personal assistant to something that it's truly agentic. It's important to know the difference. AI assistants are typically prompted by the user versus an AI agent. It's something more complex and it's proactive in doing it. It's not prompted by the user. That's a big difference. Our Zoom AI Companion works across that entire platform, of course, there's a ton of opportunity, right? A ton of opportunity. The biggest success that we're seeing is a lot of use cases. A lot of companies are rolling out use cases such as streamlining those workflows, and particularly because it's around the platform, is when it's a meeting or you have a phone call or you have creation of documents or whiteboards, or when it goes across that movement throughout the platform, that of course impacts the productivity, like I said earlier. And also there's a lot of growth, right? So the quality of the work. We have a product, Zoom Docs, as part of the big platform. You just click the button and have Zoom AI Companion help you write that wonderful report as fast as possible and be an amazing report. So it's really speeding up a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, that is news hot off the press. If you want to find out more about Zoom's new agentic capabilities, we'll be writing about it extensively on the uctoday.com platform. So make sure you get yourself over there to have a look. But agentic AI, I mean, we've seen all the headlines, we've seen the industry as a whole, really get behind this idea, but it's not necessarily all rosy. There are risks, there are challenges still for businesses out there. Maybe you could talk a little bit about those challenges and risks, and what people should really consider before deploying agentic AI.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, I define agentic AI from a user standpoint, right? But when it comes to the actual execution of it, like what are some of these agentic skills that we announced and that it will be at UC Today here? First off, is reasoning. It's one of those. Basically, you can find out the situation, make the call. No pun intended there. Of what to do, or come up with the best game plan for doing something, and it's about if you want to prepare for a meeting, you can use reasoning. So reasoning is the key word. It can be a little bit creepy, right? It also has memory. Like, what do you mean it has memory? Well, you can learn from your history of interactions and pick up the best topics and the best people that you interact with as well. It also sounds a little bit concerning, right? Task action, it can execute the task on your behalf. So all that tends to, sometimes people think about it's risky, it's challenging, even orchestrating, right? Because it can move and uh, act like an actual project manager who knows exactly which tools to use and how to engage and third party. So it feels a little bit wait a second, right? So their main one is the main challenge out there is data privacy, security, compliance, like trusting the platform, right? If you do not trust the AI, you're not going to use it, right? The user's not going to turn it on, as simple as that. So it is very, very important to maintain that transparency around AI. What is it used for? Understanding the proper data governance practices, etc., and retain the human in the loop. Right? Make sure that the human keeps control, meaning the admin, the host, the user. They have to retain control of their own privacy and be able to choose when AI is okay or not. So that's why we have at Zoom a commitment to developing AI responsibly. We do not use customer content to train Zooms or third-party AI models, and we give control to the administrator, the user, and the host to turn it on whenever they want. Right? That's the main challenge. But there's a second challenge. The other one that I've seen a lot is it's hard. There's this misconception that AI just turn it on. It's intuitive. The agent is just gonna do this thing for me. Therefore, I don't even need to think too much about it. Um, but that's not true, right? It's something that we all need to figure out how to use it, right? So the platform needs to support a model where it's easy to use in terms of turning it on and helping me really find out what's the best use case for me. It's not just about, oh, how do I engage with the agent? We're all trying to figure out how to best use AI. So the easier that it allows me to figure that out, the better.
Fantastic. I do want to pick up on one element of agentic AI, which it's not really being talked about widely as an industry, and that is cost. Is cost a concern with agentic AI? I'm seeing they're pretty unqualified comments, but in the market where people are suggesting that maybe AI agents may be of similar cost to humans at the moment. What's your take on costs?
Oh, David, that's a bold statement. That's a very tough calculation to make as well, by the way. Um, I don't know. The way I think of it is there's one element. There's on the vendor side, right? So there are costs associated on the vendor side, of course, and it's pretty high, right? So running AI is expensive, but as with any industry, right? Advances in language models and things, we'll see progress and economies of scales are going to kick in and they're going to drive costs down, right? That's for sure the direction we're heading. You see in the news companies like DeepSeek who are differentiating on the lower operating costs of their models, etc. So that is a reality, right? This is expensive technology, but it's definitely dropping the cost. When it comes to us at Zoom, I can share. So we deploy a federated approach to AI that basically dynamically selects different models, etc. And that includes also what we announced, small language models, right, or SLMs. The difference here is that an SLM is ideal for that agentic AI trend that we're in right now. These are models that are fine-tuned and optimized for a very specific task or a skill, and they can actually produce higher quality output at a lower operating cost for us vendors, right? So that's one example of the advancements that we're using to drop the cost down effectively on the vendor side. Um, but more importantly, since the beginning at Zoom, we believe that AI should be democratized and available to every employee in the organization, right? So Zoom AI Companion is included at no additional cost with paid accounts. It's been like that since the beginning, and will continue to be that way. It is something that it should be available for everybody. That's how we believe.
So, one of the sort of consistent conversations that pops up every time sort of AI evolves. First we had AI, then it was generative AI. Now we're into a agentic AI and AI agents, and that's the topic of job roles and what this technology means for job roles within companies. What's your take on this? Will this create opportunities or displace people and existing jobs?
Oh no, yeah, for sure. Like it rather than displacement, we gotta see this as agentic AI being able to create these new opportunities, right? And it's creating it because it's changing the way that we work, right? It's augmenting those human capabilities that we do today. That's the reality, right? Like it's not gonna displace some jobs will be displaced, but it's gonna be a change. It's not gonna be a complete one by one replacement. Is what I'm saying. Like I tried to explain earlier, we believe the benefit here is about horizontal scale and leveling up. Right? That's what I said. Horizontal scale again, it means that an individual or a worker will be able to do more. Right? Basically, do more work. And leveling up basically means that that work that it's performed, the output, the performance of that, it's of higher quality all the time. Right? So that's kind of like the two dimensions that AI is going to help the worker in itself. Um, uh, with that in mind, as that happens, that will allow us to focus more on strategic and impactful work, which we believe is tightly coupled to stronger relationships because work is not an individual sport. Very few people out there just work by themselves in isolation. It's more of a team sport, right? It's performing groups, we collaborate, we work together. That's the way we see it. So agentic skills and AI agents, they're all, able to handle all these routine tasks so that, the worker, the employee can focus on that strategic work and things like creativity or relationship building. So that's really what it's going to be. We found that people don't want to work just less hours, right? It's a little bit of a misconception. Yeah, I just want to work 3 days a week. That sounds like a nice dream, yes, but the reality is that we want to work in things that gets us filled, or fulfillment type of work and achieve more. And I always want to do my best performance. It's not that I want to work more hours or less. I want to work the same amount of hours. I just want to make sure that I'm doing very, very impactful work in the day and in my everyday. That's where agentic AI is going to shine, right? Because it can truly make that shift possible.
Great. So I do want to talk about the here and now as well, with maybe some real world examples. Where are you seeing AI already have that kind of positive or a demonstrated positive impact on businesses kind of today?
Yeah, well, first of all, this whole agentic wave of AI agents, it's very new. Let's be clear, right? We just announced our Zoom agentic AI skills, like you mentioned, and we have specialized AI agents, and but we've been testing a lot of it internally. I can share a few, of course. I love things like meeting summaries. Right, meeting summaries is a very traditional skill. It's one of the first AI skills that came out in the market. With Zoom AI Companion, it can easily understand, when that meeting summary even gets executed, capture next summaries, etc. What I love the most is that I don't even need to think where to get the meeting summary. I know it's in the platform. I can receive it in an email. Yes, I can get it in a chat. Yes, in a card. I can go to the calendar and it will be there. Yes. So it's not really about the meeting summary itself. It's the fact that when am I going to need this summary or this next step? It's when I'm preparing for work or when I'm performing the work or when I'm executing the work. So having the meeting summary available in so many places and exactly where I need it, it's been great. It's one of the best skills that I think it's fantastic because it's surfaced to me. It's not something that I need to go, oh, where did I put this or where is that? So it's something that it becomes more proactive, right? Like I said. Um, Another one I mentioned, Zoom Docs with AI Companion. My team performs a lot of the typical using PowerPoint slides to write a 100 slide report. A lot of people do that, or Google Slides. It's actually helped us reduce that, right? Zoom Docs, you can just execute or have it generate a long report and start with a template and do scripts and things like that. And it's reduced the amount of usage for some of the other tools that are really not designed for producing reports. But it's become dynamic, right? It's a dynamic report. It's not only easier to produce, but again, it's a team sport, right? People can come in and comment and make edits, and it's all happening organically through the production of the actual report. That's been a of immediate value that we've seen. Um, and one that's been fairly new that we just also announced at Zoomtopia, and we reiterated it at Enterprise Connect, is Zoom Clips with AI Companion. Yeah, it's something that it's a skill that you just give it a script and generate a short clip in English, Spanish, French, Japanese that looks like you, and it's just it's a very very effective way to communicate, right? And to distribute information is you just write a snippet. By the way, it could be generated in a Zoom doc, and then boop, but it gets through a Zoom clip and distributed. And here's a 5 minute clip of this particular report. I know you're very busy. Can you please take a look? So we've announced a ton of things. A lot of them have been great. Calendar scheduling assistant, generating smart agendas, real-time meeting notes, right? That's another one to stay on track during a meeting, because many of us are multitasking while we're attending meetings, right? So when it comes to like the core everyday, that's been very successful. Like we're seeing a lot of great use cases that a lot of customers are starting to deploy. Two more business services or line of businesses. So the contact center, right? The contact center is a place where it's ideal for this type of benefit, right? So we expect to see a lot of great customers, new customers that start rolling out some of our agents, such as our Zoom virtual agents, one of the specialized agents that we mentioned, and we have, or a sales agent, right? So a sales agent can probably use our product Zoom Revenue Accelerator and have connectors to CRM and completely change the way that a sales manager approaches a sales cycle, like you were asking earlier, David. So definitely we're leaving times where our work is going to change.
So, I mean, I got a feeling you could have talked for a lot longer on what's coming out of Zoom there, but we have to move on to the next one. But I did want to touch on customization as well. You know, we've seen elsewhere in the market the ability to customize these AI agents. There's some obviously out of the box solutions as well. So we're still obviously learning about the Zoom proposition. So maybe you can tell us. But you know, why is it crucial for businesses to have that ability to customize these AI agents rather than rely on the out of the box solutions, I guess?
Yeah, this is a good one. So the way I like to describe it, right? When we use things like ChatGPT or some of those tools to just basically ask a question and get a response, it is a little bit flat in the sense of it's not personal, right? It's not your own. It's just there's an answer that, yeah, you get the magnificent answer that you're looking for, right? But how do you actually make that your own? How do you customize it to a point that it's yours, right? Um, I'll give you an example in industry verticals such as healthcare, right? There's a huge need for training with specific clinical vocabulary, right? Or making sure that the AI platform understands and actually is providing value in a very specific way, right? So we did announce other capabilities such as clinical notes for healthcare, where it automates note taking for physicians, and they can directly improve all their focus on the patient care. So that's the whole goal, right? But what about even making it one step further, right? How do you actually customize it? So that's why also when you talk about solutions that are at the application layer, right? That's us. Zoom is an application type of layer environment or platform. We are open, and you have to be open because you have to integrate. We're not customers don't have only Zoom, right? We live in a very heterogeneous IT stack. That's the reality. We have multiple tools out there. So that's exactly why our AI first platform is open, right? It needs to integrate. And that's where the customization area comes to play, right? We did announce specific for AI. We had a paid add-on, and the product itself is called AI Studio that would allow people to basically customize skills, right? Those AI skills, like I said, you could just bring your own vocabulary, or maybe you want to extend the knowledge base because you have a special, then you can customize that skill, right? Maybe you want to deploy a particular template for the meeting summary that comes out because, I don't know, you're in the legal industry, for instance, and lawyers like to have their summaries in a certain way. You could customize that skill too. Or you can create maybe even custom agents, right? You can create a whole custom agent that you want that could maybe deal with HR tickets or IT tickets or things like that. So customization is becoming very, very important, right? Because we don't live in isolation. We do have those heterogeneous IT stack that I mentioned earlier.
Great. So we're almost at the end of the session, Leo. I want to leave our viewers with some top tips around Agentic AI. What are your top tips for those customers that want to utilize Agentic AI or customized AI agents to align more effectively with brand operations and more broadly their company goals?
Yeah, first of all, there's how do I even start, right? Like I would say, like how do you even get started, right? So the cliche, of course, is that start with a small pilot. My main message here would be, don't be scared. Figure out a pilot and actually do it, and make sure you have a control group and a pilot group, like a traditional evaluation model. But truly started. It's not as difficult as we might think. The tools are already out there, right? So that would be tip number one. There's a lot of research that needs to be done, but you have to get started, right? Once we go through that hurdle, it certainly will become more natural, and you'll start seeing how people will start rolling it out. The second thing is we don't have it all figured out, right? We're all riding this journey or this wave of AI, and we're all in this together. The change is coming, right? So us vendors and like that's how we think here at Zoom. We have a fiduciary responsibility here with our users, right? And yeah, we will help in building use cases, etc. But we want to invite our customers and those users to actually come in that journey with us and help us figure that out too, right? This is one of those that we need to go hand in hand together. That's the second thing that I would say. And there's a lot of documentation out there, so that's another great thing to know. We launched a Zoom AI Companion Resource Center, for instance, last year, and there's a lot of documentation for precisely how to address those challenges that we talked about earlier in the session, like concerns about privacy and things like that. How do you tell your users that will be part of that small pilot, hey, look, this is how you try it out. Don't worry, like the model's not going to be trained with their data. Don't worry about so how do you actually engage with the user to hold their hand as they try to adopt this pilot? So those are kind of like one of the high level best practices I like to share.
Leo, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to following Zoom's Agentic AI journey. But thank you for joining me today and sharing some of that insight.
Thanks for having me, David.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today. If you like today's conversation, please give us a like and a share on social media. That's it from me. See you next time.